Well, last year, a family's call for justice led state attorneys in Miami-Dade to file charges against a teen accused of stabbing and killing her boyfriend. But
it is late on a Friday night, December 20th, 2024, 4 days before Christmas. In the Liberty City area of Miami, Florida, most people are winding down for the weekend, maybe putting up last-minute decorations, wrapping gifts, or just resting after a long week. Nobody expected that night to end the way it did. 17-year-old Yahkeim Lollar, known to everyone who loved him as Keimo, was a junior at Miami Northwestern Senior High School. He was a running back on the football team, a straight-A student, the kind of young man his father described in court as well-respected, somebody who was taught to carry himself right, to treat people with dignity, and to stay away from trouble. By all accounts, Keimo was doing everything right. He had a future in front of him. That night, just before 11 p.m., Keimo was in the parking garage of his own apartment complex, the place where he lived, near Northwest 6th Court and 61st Street. He was not in the wrong place. He was home. With him was Jahara Malik, 17 years old, his on-again, off-again girlfriend. The two of them were high school sweethearts from the same school, Miami Northwestern. People who knew them knew the relationship had been rocky. And that night, according to those closest to Keimo, he had made a decision. He wanted out of the relationship. He was done. What should have been a difficult but ordinary conversation between two teenagers, the kind of breakup that happens every single day, turned into something that cannot be undone. At 11:53 p.m., Yahkeim Lollar was pronounced dead at Jackson Memorial Hospital's Ryder Trauma Center. He was 17 years old, and he never made it to Christmas. What exactly happened inside that parking garage? How did a relationship argument end with a knife going directly into the chest of a teenage boy? And what did the girl who was with him that night tell police when it was all over? Stay with us, because this story goes much deeper than what the headlines told you. Before we go any further, drop your city or country in the comments right now. We want to know where our True Crime Tower family is watching from all over the world. And if this story already has you feeling something, hit that like button. Let's get into it.
He be having nights, we both having nights. Like when he come to my house, we just do it every time. We get in an argument.
So what? So y'all, okay.
So you guys get in arguments and you put us?
You on? I'm on, yeah. I mean, I already talked to her, sorry.
And then I had the knife, but I was...
Were you guys arguing before that?
No, we was just over here fighting, and then...
So
you guys are arguing?
Yes, and then, well, we wasn't arguing, we was just like play fighting and stuff. And that's when he was making me mad, and that's when I had the knife right here. And then he ended up running to it. But I'm not thinking, because he already knew I had it. He was trying to get it from me, but he ended up running to it.
All right. Do you have an ID on you?
No, I don't have no ID.
Do you know your social? Listen.
Last four.
You know your last four? Okay. What? Look, we're trying to figure what's going on.
No, like what's going to happen? I just need him to wake up.
I don't know, and they're working on him, okay? Just relax. They're working on him.
If he alive, then what?
Huh?
Where we go from there?
We gotta take him to the hospital.
Okay, and then what?
And then we just go from there. When he wakes up, we talk to him and everything.
He's like...
We gotta wait. You're 17 also? Okay, what's your date of birth?
I didn't even tell my mom. My mom don't even know nothing.
That teenager is now at home with her family as she awaits Thursday's pretrial detention hearing. The victim's mother says this is a slap in the face and wants her behind bars right now.
Page 1, Jahara Malik.
17-year-old Jahara Malik in court Tuesday, facing 1 count of manslaughter. She's accused of stabbing her ex-boyfriend, 17-year-old Yahkeim Lollar.
He was the ultimate competitor. You know, at anything he did, he loved everybody. Just the perfect kid in my eyes.
The victim's loved ones stood together in a show of support after the hearing, carrying a banner with messages from his classmates.
We're fighting for a greater purpose right now. We're trying to get justice.
The incident happened December 20th at this apartment complex on the 6100 block of Northwest 6th Court in Miami. Lollar was found with a stab wound to the chest on the 3rd floor of the parking garage. Investigators say surveillance video shows Malik dropping a knife near the crime scene. She told investigators the two were, quote, horseplaying just before the stabbing.
We believe that this is a totally unfortunate situation. but I don't believe that it's in the interest of justice for her to be taken back into custody.
A bond court judge allowed Malik to leave jail on a $50,000 bond with a GPS monitor.
I want it removed due to the fact, as a student in school, there's a negative connotation with that.
I think a monitor is a slap in the face to me. She should be in jail.
The state and the victim's family want her held behind bars until trial.
She's going to jail. She's going to pay for what she did to my son.
The state did file a motion asking for that pretrial detention hearing. The judge granted it today and scheduled it for Thursday at 2 p.m. We are live in Miami. I'm Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
Any comment on your daughter? A 17-year-old girl accused of killing her boyfriend walking out of a Miami-Dade County courtroom with her family on Thursday.
She took my son life away.
After that young man's mother pleaded with a judge to keep her behind bars.
If she did a crime, she need to pay the time.
My nephew is gone forever.
She and 5 more family members of 17-year-old Yahkeim Lollar spoke in court Thursday. Lollar's 17-year-old girlfriend, Jahara Malik, now charged with manslaughter. Police say she stabbed him to death in his parking garage back in December. But Malik says it was accidental and the two were horseplaying.
How's that accidental? She never not once said my son threatened her. She never said that that she felt threatened or he was aggressive towards her. So it was no reason to pull out a knife.
Malik in court wiping tears from her eyes.
This was an accidental situation. This was not intended.
Malik's attorneys fighting to keep her out of jail while she awaits trial, while the state suggested house arrest. The state used this video as part of their argument that Malik is a threat to the community. It shows her, seen here in blue scrubs, getting into a fight with another girl back in 2024, only months before she would be accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend.
Well, last year, families called for justice-led state attorneys in Miami-Dade to file charges against the teen accused of stabbing and killing her boyfriend. But now, 1 year after his death, the victim's family believes justice is still being delayed and fears it could ultimately be denied.
NBC6 reporter Christian Colon has been following the story and joins us now to explain the family's new call for action.
It's been a year since friends, classmates, and loved ones protested the killing of 17-year-old Yahkeim Lollar outside the Miami-Dade State Attorney's office. Today, that fight for justice is still ongoing.
We're still fighting for justice, and we're trying to figure out why. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, my son would have been in jail.
Natalie Jean lost her son, lovingly known as Keimo, after police say his girlfriend, 17-year-old Jahara Malik, stabbed him during an argument. Malik claimed the two were horseplaying.
Nothing has moved in this case, and the family is more than ready at this point to see justice be served. The defendant is out living her best life while Keimo Lollar's not with us, and he should be.
Keimo's family's protest led to Malik's arrest more than a month after he was killed. Now they're demanding for a trial to happen soon so they can finally begin to mourn in peace.
It's not like we're looking for a murderer. We know who did it. So what is the holdup? What is the issue?
In court, prosecutors said they are in talks with Malik's attorneys about possible resolutions to the case instead of going to trial. But Judge Christine Hernandez expressed concern about how productive those talks have been.
I'm trying to keep things going and trying to figure out what's happening because I just do not want to keep granting continuances and then nothing is happening during that.
And Malik has pleaded not guilty to her manslaughter charge and has previously stated that this was all an accident. Today, her attorneys were not in court, but we did reach out to them for comment, but we haven't heard back yet. We did reach out to the state attorney's office, and they tell us that they are ready for trial. In Miami, Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
After Keimo was pronounced dead, investigators began piecing together what happened in that garage. Malik stayed on the scene. According to her attorney, she called 911 and attempted to perform life-saving measures while waiting for help to arrive. But a medical examiner, conducting the autopsy in the weeks that followed, ruled the death a homicide. On January 28, 2025, over a month after the killing, Jahara Malik was arrested and initially taken to a juvenile assessment center. 3 days later, she was moved to adult criminal court in Miami-Dade County and charged as an adult. She had no prior criminal record. A judge set her bond at $50,000 with GPS monitoring. Her defense? That the two of them were horseplaying with a knife in the garage that night. According to the arrest affidavit, Malik had originally planned to go shopping with a friend on December 20th. Before leaving, she went looking for her pepper spray, which she said she normally carried for protection. She could not find it, so she grabbed a knife instead. After shopping, she went to meet Keimo at his apartment complex. And that, she told police, was when the horseplay happened. Keimo's mother, Natalie Jean, rejected that story completely. Who horseplays with a knife? She told reporters. You learn as a kid that you don't play with sharp objects. The prosecution rejected it too, and the forensic evidence backed them up. Part B. The guilty plea and sentencing. By March 2026, more than 14 months after the killing, Jahar Malik, now 18 years old, stood inside courtroom 2 to 8 at the Richard E. Gerstein Justice Building in downtown Miami and pleaded guilty to manslaughter with a deadly weapon. There was no plea deal, no negotiated arrangement. She left her fate entirely in the hands of Judge Christine Hernandez. On May 5th, 2026, that courtroom was packed. Lollar's family filled the gallery. One by one, they stood up and spoke directly to the judge and directly to Malik. His mother, Natalie Jean, told the court, "We just want what my son deserved. His life matters. I do not want to leave here today feeling like I lost my son all over again." His father, Darby Lollar, spoke about who his son was. Keimo wasn't hanging around the wrong crowd, he told the judge. It took somebody he trusted and loved to do him like that. He wasn't no chump. He was a well-respected young man. He was taught not to be abusive to women, and I think that was a reason for his demise. His aunt, Zeldrina Beecham, looked directly at Malik and said, "It will always be a fact that you are a murderer." The prosecutor, Kristen Rodriguez, addressed the horseplay claim one final time and dismantled it with the autopsy. The fatal wound, she told the court, penetrated through Keimo's hoodie, through his shirt, through muscle, clipped his rib, and went directly into his heart. That level of force, she argued, is not consistent with an accident. An accident is something without foresight, without the reasonable ability to prevent it. And this case screams foreseeability. Malik spoke during the sentencing hearing. "I was wrong for what I did," she told the judge. "Every day I sit and think about the damage I caused. The family want me in prison, but I'm in my own prison for the rest of my life." Judge Christine Hernandez sentenced Jahar Malik to 17 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. She also ordered Malik to undergo a mandatory evaluation and handed down an extraordinary additional condition. Every year on December 20th, the anniversary of Keimo's death, Malik must write a letter acknowledging what happened and reflecting on how her actions affected the lives around her. Outside the courthouse, Natalie Jean said her son got what he deserved. "I want to hear your honest thoughts. Do you think 17 years was the right sentence for what happened that night? Comment below. And if you think justice was or wasn't served for Keimo, let us know why." Part C, the lesson we cannot ignore. Yahkeim Lollar was 17 years old, a straight-A student, a football player with a future, a son and nephew, a friend, someone who, by every account, did everything right. He stayed out of trouble. He treated people with respect. He was honest with someone he cared about when he wanted to end a relationship, and that honesty cost him his life. His father said himself, standing in that courtroom. Keimo was taught not to be abusive toward women. He was not the aggressor. He was not the threat. He simply wanted to walk away from a relationship that was no longer working. That should have been the end of it. What this case forces us to confront is something that does not get talked about enough. The danger of treating another person like property. The inability to accept rejection. The belief that love gives you ownership over someone else's choices, someone else's body, someone else's life. It does not. It never has. Keimo is gone. He will never play another football game. He will never graduate. He will never get to see what his life could have become. His mother has to spend every Christmas for the rest of her life knowing her son took his last breath 4 days before it, in a parking garage at 17 years old. And Jahar Malik, also 17 at the time, will spend the next 17 years in a Florida state prison, required by a judge to sit with what she did every single December 20th and put it into words. 2 teenagers. One night, a decision that destroyed both of their futures and shattered an entire family. Rest in peace, Yahkeim Keimo Lollar. If this story moved you, please share it. Share it for Keimo's family. Share it so this conversation reaches someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to True Crime Tower so you never miss a story like this one. And tell us in the comments what you think needs to change so that tragedies like this stop happening to our young people.